Hey YouTube, Austin Vintage Warfare here today to talk about reproductions and clones of certain iconic weapons that people really want, but you typically can't get them unless they're a transferable machine gun or you have to build some kind of semi-automatic parts kit. And maybe a couple of suggestions for those that are looking for certain weapons that they wouldn't usually be able to find on their own because, I don't know, maybe they don't know how to use Google. But before we get into today's video, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Acre Gold. Acre Gold is a gold subscription service that delivers for as little as $30 a month fine gold directly to your front door. The perks of having gold delivered directly to your door means it's safe and sound in your hands. Designed in California and sourced from one of the biggest mints in Switzerland, it is 100% legitimate gold that is in your physical possession, which is a good investment. Acre Gold also keeps you updated on your stash, so you are up to date on how much gold you got. They even have a $50, $100, and $250 tier that you can subscribe to. Visit my affiliate link in the description and the pinned comment, and go ahead and start investing in physical gold today. So, reproductions. I'm sure if you're like me, and you play a little vidya, or you played a little vidya, and you saw as an example, an STG-44 in a Medal of Honor title, and you thought, wow, that thing fucks. And I really want that. Well, you would be like me. However, you're like everyone else too. The STG-44 as an example, there's a lot of weapons like that. I'm using that as an example because I feel as though a lot of people think that weapon looks cool. And there was a company that tried to reproduce this, and I will talk about that as a reason as to why it is so hard to reproduce certain things. And being that an STG-44 is a transferable machine gun in pretty much every case and very expensive, you have to either be rich or own a business that deals in making machine guns. Now, not all is lost. There are a lot of companies out there that have attempted to reach that market. I believe German Sports Guns being one, or ATI, I forget what they really go by. I know that they are owned by Blue Line Solutions, which, by the way, I have you on Instagram, Blue Line. I'm going to bully you if you don't make a reproduction of the STG-44 in 7.62x39, because bullying works, and I'm going to get my way. German Sports Guns does make an MP40 and a STG-44, albeit in 22 LR reproduction. You also have a 9mm, relatively inexpensive 9mm reproduction of the MP40. Although the inner workings are not clone correct, as you know, the MP40 fires from an open bolt, and you kind of have to have it fire from a closed bolt because, I don't know, the government doesn't like us, and it's pretty stupid, but here we are. You also have other companies like Auto Ordnance, which makes Thompson reproductions and M1 carbine reproductions, but I don't really know if I want to call that a reproduction because I'm pretty sure they manufactured Thompsons in World War II, so I mean. And then you have companies like SMG, which is a company that reproduced FG-42s, Russian DP series machine guns. They weren't really machine guns, they were semi-automatic reproductions. In fact, they probably were like parts kits. I'm not entirely sure on that one, and I don't even know if they're in stock right now. I looked at their website earlier, but I couldn't tell. But I also want to answer as to why we are not seeing as many of those reproductions. And there's a couple of, I'm going to use case studies that probably show as to why. HMG Gunworks, or Hill and Mac Gunworks, they were a company that 5, 6, 7 years ago promised an STG-44 reproduction in 4 different calibers. I believe they had 5.56, 7.62x39, 8mm Kurtz, the original caliber, and then I forget what the other one is, but you get the point. 4 different calibers. And being that this company was rather small, it got a lot of hype though for what they were offering. Why? Because the market for an STG-44 is huge. And creating essentially a new weapon. I mean, you are at that point. You're building it from the ground up. You're manufacturing the receivers. You're manufacturing proprietary magazines because now you've made 4 different caliber choices, and those are going to require proprietary mags. So when you're a small company and you are taking on something that big, just to make, say, a proprietary magazine, which once you start offering 5.56 for a Sturmgewehr, you now have to make proprietary mags. That could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars just to have something that works. And then once you have the proprietary mag that works, it's going to become cost prohibitive unless you have more investing or more money come in. It's going to be impossible for you to mass produce these things. And then another issue with that is it's only $1,800 on their website. Now that I know that sounds expensive, but that is actually very affordable for what it is they're selling. As an example, Ohio Ordnance Works, they sell a BAR reproduction, and that thing is like $6,000. There's a reason that it's $6,000. Granted, the BAR is a little bit larger, more materials involved, but even this bigger company, Ohio Ordnance Works, had to make it very expensive. But another reason also is these weapons are more complicated. They're not as easy to produce. They were designed and meant to be mass produced in big factories for wartime environments. Nowadays people are, they get CNC machines and they're all just pumping out Glock clones and AR stuff, which that market's oversaturated, by the way. But the overall point to HMG's story is it is a hard thing to do to reproduce a firearm like that, and it really does require a lot of money. And even if you're big enough, you're going to have to make it relatively expensive. Also, can a company start reproducing 11mm Mauser? This stuff's like $100 a box, and I really like shooting this thing. So if you could do that, that'd be really, really sweet. Thanks, dude. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. It's Austin Vintage Warfare. Overarching point, there's a lot of things that we want reproduced, and frankly, it's a little bit more complicated than that. And as the AR market and other guns become more and more oversaturated, and people keep consuming more media like video games, movies, etc., we might see more of a monetary investment from companies and some cool stuff that they might reproduce for those that want those weapons that we would otherwise not be able to obtain. So, I don't know, be patient. Maybe good things will come. But I will see you in the next video. Later.